All right, let's talk about a molecule that's getting a ton of buzz in the health and anti-aging world, NAD+. Today, we're going to break down the science of why this little thing is so vital for powering our bodies, and we'll take a close look at the supplements being created to give us more of it. Let's get right into it.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll set the stage with the problem, what I'm calling the cellular energy crisis. Then we'll meet the hero of our story, NAD+. After that, we'll explore how you can actually boost your levels, dig into a real-world example with a formula called Endunot. And finally, we'll look at the big picture, the promise, the proof, and the money behind this whole movement.
Okay, so let's start with a core challenge that comes with getting older. And I'm not just talking about the stuff you see in the mirror. This goes deeper, way deeper. It's about a drop in your body's fundamental power supply, happening right inside your trillions of cells.
50%. Just let that sink in for a second. Studies suggest that between your 20s and your 50s, your body's levels of NAD+ can drop by about half. That's not just a tiny dip. It's a massive shift in your cellular engine that has very real, very noticeable effects.
And that's why this isn't just some abstract number. This hits home. That drop in your cellular gas tank is why you might feel less energetic, why it gets harder to focus, and why you just don't have the stamina you used to. It's exactly why this topic is catching on with high achievers, athletes, and really anyone with a demanding lifestyle who's trying to stay on top of their game.
So, if falling NAD+ is the problem, then it makes sense that finding a way to boost it could be the solution, right? Let's get a proper introduction to this incredible master molecule.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. But here's all you really need to know. It's a coenzyme, which is just a fancy word for a helper molecule. And it is absolutely everywhere, in every single one of your cells, doing two of the most important jobs imaginable, making energy and fixing things.
And what's so cool about NAD+ is that it's not a one-trick pony. It's got three huge jobs. First, energy. It's essential for your mitochondria, your cellular power plants, to turn the food you eat into pure cellular fuel called ATP. Second, DNA repair. When your DNA gets damaged, which happens all the time, special enzymes rush in to fix it and they use NAD+ as their fuel source. And third, it turns on our longevity genes called Sirtuins, which are like the master regulators of your cell's health. And look, this isn't just lab talk. As longevity experts like Dr. Hallen Chen have seen in practice, when you support NAD+ levels, people report feeling it. More energy, better focus, more resilience. It all lines up with what the science tells us. So the obvious question is, great, where do I get more of this stuff? Well, here's the twist. You can't just pop an NAD+ pill. The molecule itself is too fragile. Instead, you have to give your body the raw materials, the building blocks it needs to make its own. Now, your body is pretty clever. It has three main assembly lines or pathways to make NAD+. One path builds it from scratch using an amino acid. Another uses a form of vitamin B3 called niacin. But the most important one, by far, is the salvage pathway. Think of it as your body's ultimate recycling program. It takes the leftovers and efficiently turns them back into fresh NAD+. And sure, you get some of these building blocks from your diet. Foods like avocados and broccoli have them. The problem? The amounts are tiny. You would have to eat an absolutely insane quantity of these foods to make a real dent in your NAD+ levels, which is exactly why the conversation has turned to smart supplementation. So let's get practical. How does all this science actually end up in a bottle? We're going to use a supplement called Endunot as a case study. It's a great example of a modern formula designed for people with those intense lifestyles who are looking to improve their regeneration and just feel more vital day to day. You know, a lot of early supplements were pretty simple. They just picked one precursor and hoped for the best. But a more advanced strategy, the kind you see in Endunot, is a multi-pathway approach. Instead of betting on just one assembly line, it provides the raw materials for multiple pathways. On top of that, it adds in other smart ingredients to help protect the NAD+ you make and to make sure your body can actually absorb everything. And if we pop the hood on the formula, you can really see this synergy at work. You've got niacinamide to fuel that super efficient salvage pathway, and L-tryptophan for the from-scratch pathway. But then it gets even smarter. Chamomile extract acts as an NAD+ saver. It helps slow down the breakdown of NAD+. Resveratrol is in there to help activate those longevity genes we talked about. And finally, black pepper extract to make sure your body can actually use all these goodies. But here's a really cool, kind of next-level part of the strategy: cellular protection. Endunot also supports the creation of something called cysteine. Does that matter? because cysteine is the key building block for glutathione, which is literally your body's master antioxidant. So you're not just boosting energy production, you're also helping to build up the antioxidant shield that protects your cells from damage. It's a 1-2 punch of energy and defense. Okay, so we've got the science and we've got the formula. But what about the real world? Let's zoom out and look at what you can actually expect. The safety and the powerful business engine that is turning NAD+ into one of the hottest wellness categories out there.
So what should you actually expect if you start taking something like this? It's not a magic pill, but the effects can be pretty quick. Many people report feeling a subtle lift in energy in just the first day or two. Within about a week, you might notice better mental clarity. But the real sustained benefits, that's where consistency pays off, usually kicking in after 2 or 3 weeks and often getting even better from there.
And on the safety side, things look pretty solid. These ingredients are generally well tolerated. The specific form of B3 used in Endunad also avoids that annoying itchy niacin flush some people get. Just a couple of common sense cautions. Check with your doctor if you're on blood pressure medication. And it's best to avoid it during pregnancy, simply because there isn't research there yet. And the big one, always buy from an official source to make sure you're getting the real thing.
But to really get the full picture of why NAD+ is exploding right now, we have to look behind the science and talk about the business. The incredible growth of supplements like this isn't just because the science is compelling, it's also being supercharged by a very powerful affiliate marketing ecosystem. And wow, the incentives are huge. It's not just a simple commission. Marketers can get a massive 30 to 40% cut on a sale. Then there are bonuses on top of that, and even referral fees for bringing in other marketers. It's a structure designed to motivate people to spread the word, and it works incredibly well. These programs are built to be irresistible to marketers. Beyond the high commissions, they have features like a lifetime cookie. Think about this. If you refer a customer once, you get paid on every single thing they buy from that company forever. With reliable payouts and global reach, it's a well-oiled machine designed for explosive growth. Which brings us to our final question. On one hand, you have fascinating science pointing to a molecule that's fundamental to how we age. On the other, you have a powerhouse marketing engine driving its popularity. So is optimizing NAD+ the future of healthy aging, or is it simply a brilliant new frontier for marketing? The truth is, it's probably a bit of both, and that's definitely something to think about. Thanks for watching.